Welcome to Deep Dive Dialogues, episode 2, where we'll be talking about unfiltered and unapologetic conversations.
I'm Cece,
And I'm Maya.
and we hope you enjoy, subscribe, like, comment, and here's the video.
I'm really big on self-love, and I know you are too.
Sure.
And for the people that are trying to find self-love, kind of like a quote I always try to tell myself is, if your life was spent underneath somebody, would you ever truly know who you really are? So I think self-love comes from being able to remove yourself from any relationship, friendship, and like be in solitude and be in isolation, because that's when you know like that's when you're finding out what you love to do or new hobbies. You know what I mean? And just if you love yourself when you're isolated, then when you're around people, it's like you always know who you truly are.
Right. I definitely do agree. Like, being able to be alone is like not normal nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
just being able to have that time to think. Like, I feel like a lot of things can be distractions. Obviously, phones, men, friends, partying. And when you don't have them distractions, is when you really find yourself. Because it's like, what do I like? What do I want to do? What do I love about myself? And like, how do I carry myself in these spaces? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you. For me, like the best lessons I ever learned was dolo. Was when I was by myself and I didn't have those outside distractions, or I wasn't able to flow with the wind or be with people and like go out. I was forced to just be by myself, no phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I found ways to cope rather than what people do like in this generation, to like mask their feelings and stuff. Like I was able to deal with everything head on. And that
Right.
made me stronger though. Like I'm grateful because sometimes you have to go off path, like steer off your path to be able to like find yourself again.
Yeah.
But some people, they hit rock bottom and they never are able to climb out of it.
Right.
But ultimately, like in your journey, you have to know how to love yourself.
For sure, bro. And it shows, like, it shows in how you walk, how you talk, how you look. Like, when you truly love yourself, it shows in your energy. Like, I feel like people who really take the time to like learn and love themselves, it shows in their face. They have a certain glow about them. They have a certain way that they go into these spaces. Like, it really does show. And I also feel like self-love is also about taking accountability. Like, a lot of people don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. Like, they want to, oh, he did this to me, she did this to me, my mom and father raised me like this happened to
Yeah,
me. Instead of looking in the mirror and say, what did I do? How did I contribute to that? What could I have done that would have steered me in the right path?
yeah.
Why did this happen to me?
My fault. But no, yeah, kind of like blaming
Mm-hmm.
themselves for the things they endured in their past, rather than looking at every little thing that they've been through and being grateful. Because
Mm-hmm.
I look at my scars and did they hurt? Yeah. But if I always look at them in sorrow, or why did this happen to me, like victimizing myself,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll never be able to let go and grow.
Right.
Because that's truly how you grow and you learn to love yourself. And it's like what you were saying, when you love yourself, it shows in your energy. And I feel like that's also a way to build your confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't You don't need validation from your friends. You don't need validation from men. You don't need validation from the outside world, because you know who you are and you know you that girl.
Right.
You know you that girl.
You know you that girl. Like, nothing phases you. Like, what people say, what people do, how people act, it doesn't phase you, because once you get to that point where you love yourself, you realize how much trauma and how much hurt people carry. And you don't take a lot of stuff personally, because you realize that you are just the victim of the trauma they already had inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you just happen to be the person that they took that out on. And for me, I take that as a compliment, because it's obvious it's something about me that made your trauma and your past, like, trigger something to you, trigger something in you. And I'm not saying a compliment, like, because I don't want people to think like I like people's traumas, or like I'm taking, like, no, but it's like, it's obvious something about me is something you see that you need to work on, or something that you admire, but the way you process it is not in an admiration way. It's in a jealousy and like an envious way. You know what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying. And throughout your life, like, everything has an expiration, right? So it can be friendships, it can be even family members. Everything is in your life for a season. And sometimes when a door closes, it's so that better things can come together.
Yes.
Right? And people are very envious nowadays. People are greedy, and people don't like you because your energy and your personality, that's like your power.
Right.
That is your power in this world. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people want you to where they can control you. Once they feel like you're overstepping that, or you're kind of growing into a way like they can't really reach you anymore, they start to like you.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And like you were saying, like, you, for real though, like, this is real. But like you were saying before, like, one thing I do feel like when you have learned to love yourself is you learn how to detach. And I think we talked about that in the last episode. It's like, I'm not saying you cannot have your emotions, or you cannot feel some type of way, or like you cannot have that feeling, but it's like, it's wraps, it's over with, and it's no bad blood, it's no hurt, it's no back and forth, it's no drama. Our time is up, and that's okay. And I appreciate the time we had together, and I wish you the best. But our time is just up, and you realize that you're not gonna harbor onto that, because that's a way of you loving yourself, to where you're wiping your hands of it, like that.
And
hands up.
Hands up. You're not allowing yourself to really dwell in bad energy. You know, when somebody becomes envious, it's just a reflection of you probably don't love yourself, and I do. So because I want the best for you, and I want you to grow, but I'm also doing growing within my own journey, I'm gonna let you go. And sometimes that doesn't need any explanation.
Right.
Why you cut somebody off, they don't need an explanation.
They don't need an explanation, because one, we're all grown. Like, people know what they're doing. Even though they want to be victims and they don't want to hold themselves accountable, people know exactly what they're doing. So a lot of times you don't need that explanation. And I think that's kind of what I've been learning as well, to stop explaining myself. But I feel like, for me, I feel like when it's people I love, I feel like I kind of owe them an explanation. It's like, okay, it's like, let me give them a reason. But then I have to realize, like, you never gave me a reason for the way you act towards me. You never explained that. So it's like, you know.
And so I always found myself kind of doing the same thing. looking for an apology, but you're only apologizing because I felt some type of way, not because you knew you were doing something that kind of got underneath my skin or that just wasn't right what you did. You're only apologizing because it's going to bring me validation, not you. So you didn't thing. And like everything in life is either a lesson or a blessing, and sometimes you just need that lesson, and so that it can bring you more blessings in the future. So never be afraid to like just let
go. Let go. It's not gonna be the end of the world. And I feel like that also comes with age too. Cause it's like when I was younger, like when you're younger, your bubble is your bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of feel like the world is ending because you're in this bubble. But like when you get older, you realize how much more of the world you have to see. And you realize that was needed, you know, like them people being removed from your life was needed.
It was needed so that you could figure out who you are.
Yeah.
You what is your purpose? Because I definitely feel like when you're 16, 17, 18, like you're still trying to navigate high school. You're still trying to figure out what you want to do after high school. And when you're in your 20s, you're kind of like, you're a young adult, but you're like, you're hitting the adulthood.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out like who you are in your 20s, because I know a lot of people rush into relationships, and it's like I said right when we started the podcast, but when you're up underneath somebody, do you ever truly know who you are? No. And some people rush into relationships when they're so young.
Yes.
And then they find themselves not really wanting the relationship, but because they built so much, they don't want to let that go.
Right.
But then can you truly say like that you love yourself?
No. Like, no, you cannot. And I had this conversation before with one of my friends. Like, we were talking about like, because you know, I'm 20, you're 19, so it's like we were talking about if we ever felt like we were in love, like when we dated when we were teenagers. And I told them no. And they were like, why? And I said, because I didn't love myself. Like,
not that part. I did
not love myself. Like, I searched for that. So how could I be in love if I didn't love myself? And that's just my opinion. Like, how can you love someone if you don't even love yourself? And they were kind of like going back and forth saying like, oh, at the time you feel like it was love, but I'm not at the time. I'm 20 now. I have a different perspective. I see things from different lens. So now that I'm 20, I can see that probably was not love because I did not love myself. So, yeah.
But in the moment, did you feel like when you were that age, did you feel like it was love?
Yeah, I did. I did feel like it was love. So it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. But it's like I have a different perspective, but I really don't know.
Your standards have grown.
Yeah, like my standards have definitely grown when it comes to that. So it's like, can I say it was love?
Can I say it was love if I wouldn't go for that now?
Yeah, or can I say it was love if I know I hadn't even found myself yet? I was 15, 16. I don't know who I am. How am I in love if I don't even know who I am? You get what I'm saying? But, you know, and then I have to realize it's different types of love as well too. Like self-love and like puppy love and like kind of what you yeah, like so it's like I have to remind myself of that too. But yeah, that was just my perspective on it.
I always just try to look at stuff as like being thankful that it made me wiser. Because I know a lot of people, when they get out of a relationship, they quick to delete all their pictures with them. They quick to just remove them out their life. But I always look at it as like, if you're in my life at one time Like, you are a part of me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was to remove you, could I really say that I was over you, that I got over you? Because if I'm able to look at a picture and keep scrolling and be okay with it, then that chapter really did close.
Yes. I definitely understand what you're saying. But then, like, from a different perspective, some people are just out of sight, out of mind. Like, let me try to get over this person by not looking at their pictures, you know?
Yeah.
That just may be your way of healing, because it's like, I saw the picture, it was what it was, what else? But other people's ways of healing is, let me purposely remove this out of my space, to where then if I do see it again, it's nothing, you know?
Yeah.
I like that perspective though, because it's like,
it's the same thing. Like, when I put weed down, it was kind of like, I'm able to be around it and be okay. And that's how you truly know, like, if you're cool off something.
Yeah, because it's like, you see it and you're just like, okay, what's next?
What's
Is that
next?
it? Like,
but really keep people around you that are not going to judge you or be envious of you.
Yeah.
And that's just gonna support you through every season. Right? Like, you don't want someone that's just gonna be your friend because of what you have to offer for that.
Right. Like, I enjoy genuine connections. Like, I love genuine people because I'm genuine. Like, I feel like I'm genuine. I mean, I don't know. But...
Nah, you definitely are. Y'all, Cece genuine. That's my girl. You're my girl.
No, for real though. But she's genuine too. But I go into things being myself. It don't matter where I'm at. I'm always gonna be Cece. And I feel like that's just me. So it's like, I respect that. I know this is crazy because Kevin Gates be wildin'. But I saw a Kevin Gates quote, and he was like, I'd rather you hate me for me than love me for who I'm not. And that shit stuck with me. Because it's like, I'd rather you see me as my authentic self and be like, I don't like her. That's fine. You don't gotta like me. Mm-hmm. Rather than you love me for somebody that I'm not.
Yeah. And I feel like that comes with, like, not forcing it. Like, you don't have to force it. You just don't have to force it. You don't have to be like your friend. You don't have to get all the clothing that people wear nowadays to be an icon or whatever. You could just be yourself. And I promise you, people notice that. People notice the friend out of the group that isn't like everybody else. Mm-hmm. Because that's what makes you you.
Right. Be you. Like, be you. But that all goes back into self-love, because I'm not gonna feel triggered by someone being them because I'm myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be envious or jealous of someone being them because I know who I am. Mm-hmm. Like, it all ties back together.
Yeah. And then you can't be mad if you heard somebody say something about you. Because at the end of the day, if you know you, what anybody says can never hurt you, can never get under your skin. You know what I mean? Like, you just gonna sit back, because it's like, how are you gonna tell me about myself when you don't even know me?
You don't even know me.
And that's the thing, nobody knows you 100%. Everybody knows what you want them to know.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Like, you have to just learn to know and love yourself. And the thing about it is, it's not peaches and cream, because it's a lot of battling back and forth. I feel like I'm at this point now. 2025 has really, I feel like 2024 too, but 2025 has really, like, been the year for me of, like, learning and loving myself. I feel like I've always been authentic, but this year has really been the year of just understanding and learning and loving myself. And it's not always gonna feel good. Like, it's not always going to be, oh my God, I'm just so, no. Like, some days you're gonna feel a certain type of way, and it's like, you have to go through that journey. Like, you have to do that, because you don't want to go through life like being weird. Like, you don't want that. Like,
kind of like, okay, so in life we have highs and lows, right?
yeah,
And a lot of people don't know when they're going through like a low type of energy.
yeah,
And I feel like self-love and knowing who you are starts with like knowing how to deal with your emotions and knowing what type of emotion you're going through. Right? Because for me, like, I know what distracts me in this world. I know when I'm distracted.
Yeah.
There's this like quote, and it's like, starve your distractions and feed your focus.
Yeah.
Because why are you giving, if you know what your distractions are, why are you giving your distractions the time of the day?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I know we're not perfect, like, we're human, but knowing when you're mad or knowing when you're frustrated could save you a lot of time and energy. And knowing how to go about situations when you're feeling like that. Instead of throwing that energy onto other people.
Yes, yes. I feel like with me, I feel the emotions one, and then I think. I think with me, to help me like get through my emotions, I first feel them, because I don't like to hold my emotions in. Like, I don't like showing my emotions in front of people, but when I get by myself, I'm definitely gonna feel it. And I feel emotionally, and I think logically. I think, okay, why did I feel like that? What happened? Where is this coming from? And usually when I do that, it helps me get over it. Like, because now I'm taking the steps towards understanding, having a certain understanding. And I feel like that's why a lot of people get angry and they just want to fight, or they just want to cuss you out, or they just want to do that, because you're not taking the time to understand. You're taking, you got the emotional, you got the physical, and then you got the logical. You're taking the emotional to the physical instead of taking the emotional to the logical. Does that make sense?
Like,
It's like,
in reality, is this logical?
yes.
Or sometimes it just don't be that deep. It don't be that serious, and because you're dealing with a certain emotion, you're thinking based off of that emotion, rather than removing yourself, getting some time to think and breathe, and then acting.
Right.
You know, acting on what is the proper way to go about this.
For real though. And that's self-love. Like, that's self-love when you say, I'm not gonna put myself in a position to where I act out of character, or put myself in a position to where I'm not thinking. Let me take the time to understand what I'm going through and what is going on. That's an act of self-love, bro. Because you love yourself enough to where you're like, I'm not going to do this for y'all.
Like, I'm not gonna give it my energy because I
love myself. Right. I know my energy is precious. For sure.
And I feel like a lot of people like our age and lower love to fight. Right? Yeah. Like, they love to just, oh, she talking about, like, what's up? Like, but it's kind of like, if you are practicing self-love, you also need to be a reflection of that. You need to show that. And a lot of people are quick to violence, but not quick to kill somebody with kindness. And I know that sounds a little corny, but that's true. Like, the best type of reaction is none.
Yes. And I think I'm gonna bring up an example too. But I think that is such a good, like, as women, that is something we need to learn. To not say nothing, because silence is deadly, especially for a woman, because like a lot of times when we feel triggered, you're gonna know. But silence is deadly. And also stand on your word. But, like, for example, like, I went to New Orleans in February, and I had on my professional clothes because we were going to like the seminar, and it was these white ladies, and I'm in the line trying to get a notebook. The white ladies, it's like a poster on the wall, and it says, oh, like Walgreens 1960, something like that. It was some type of vintage kind of like thing. So the white lady, she's like, oh, do you know when the first Walgreens was built? Da, da, da. I'm thinking she's trying to make conversation. I'm like, no, I have no idea. I'm trying to get a notebook, lady. Mind you, I'm professionally dressed now. I look good.
Yeah.
The white lady says, oh, I thought because of how you were dressed, you worked here. Please tell me who at Dollar Tree has on a button-up, a vest, some slacks, and some ballerina shoes.
Karen was playing.
But you know what I said? I said, no, people that work here do not dress like this. And I smiled. And she went on her way. Because you're not finna get that energy out of me. Like, you're not finna put your for real though. You're not finna put your negative energy onto me and ruin my little professional seminar. You're not finna do that today. Like, yeah. And like I said earlier, I took that as a compliment. I look good. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, even though you couldn't say it. I know I look good. Like, I appreciate you for saying it, but you couldn't just say it because you was hating.
I'm gonna be Lulu and think that she was trying to say that for real. So
thank you. Like, I know, like, you felt triggered because you was like, damn, this bitch, look, I appreciate that. Like, what? I'm not gonna take that serious, bruh. But that's self-love. I love myself enough to where I know I look good. I'm in my professional dress. I'm finna go out. I'm in New Orleans. This is my first time ever on the, I had a great opportunity. I'm not even finna let you play into my energy and play me and get me out of character in this Walgreens. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, my bad. Okay. I'm weak. That's crazy. That was wild to smile me, for me. It was a smile for me.
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm about to.
Yo.
Stop.
I'm weak. But I feel like that comes back to like not letting nobody get under your skin, and also just not saying nothing at all, because if you stoop to their level, it's kind of like they already baited you. They already got you. Yeah. They literally reel you in.
Right, and you think you're, which I feel like you should defend yourself. If you feel disrespected, defend yourself. But you should never stoop to their level. Because at the end of the day, you're thinking you did your biggest one, cussing a nigga out, slashing his tires, keying his car. But you just put all of your energy onto that, and they fed off of that. Like, they're like, people like that are bottom feeders. Like, you think you did your big one, but they're feeding off of that. And they fed off your energy like, damn, she really give a fuck. Or damn, she was pressed because I said she worked here. No.
And then it's like what you were saying about like the car, like keying the car and stuff. I feel people in this world are so used to toxicity. But when they encounter a woman that is very calm, very self-love, loves herself, that she doesn't do stuff like that, it's like, oh, well, I need a woman that's gonna care about me.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, like, you're not showing, like, you real nonchalant, you're not showing up. Baby, I'm playing the game right.
Yeah, like, what do I look like putting all my energy towards someone that has put no energy towards me?
Yeah.
Are we psycho? And you've seen it over the summer. I'm not gonna talk about it because.
Yeah, but that's crazy. You said I turned around.
Nah. Like, what? But like, you know who I am, and not on no. Oh, I'm this and that. Like, I don't want nobody who's watching this podcast to think I'm just conceited or like I feel like I'm better than nobody. I don't feel like I'm better than nobody, but I know who I am. Period. I know who I am, and you're not finna get that off on me. Like, I'm sorry. Find somebody else.
Yeah, I feel like me and Cece are definitely alike when it comes to like loving ourselves, because I see that within her, and like we never let no nigga try to play us.
No.
it don't matter. It don't matter who it is. Like, we have that in common.
Yeah.
So she honestly makes me like a better person.
Oh, hey.
No, for real, because like you come into this world by yourself and you leave by yourself. So you don't want to ever like build an attachment to somebody that is like you never are. You're like not okay with being like by yourself. Like you can't walk down the street by yourself, or it's like you on the phone. And yeah, I just want to give you your props real quick, because you definitely make me like a better person. Like this friendship is definitely longevity.
For sure though, for sure. And I feel the same way about Maya. Like, I've never really had a friend that one makes me think and like that it's just her own person. Like, I appreciate you as a person. I respect you as a person. And I like the fact that we can come together as two different people, even though we have a lot of similarities. But we can come together as two different people and make magic. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And not step on each other's toes or be envious of each other or be worried about. We don't have none of that, bro. Like, it's all love, bro. And I think that's because we did the inner work. And, you know, we still doing the inner work. We're not perfect. Yeah. But we still are doing the inner work to find and love ourselves, bro. Like,
yeah. And it's never been no competing. Like,
no,
y'all don't know this, but we used to work at Amazon. We used to work at Amazon together, and at that we worked night shift. And it was just kind of like long 10-hour shifts.
Yes, like,
and all we did was talk. Like, we used to talk about deep shit. We talked about comedy. We talked about just life.
Yeah.
And, like, that's like where this podcast kind of originated from.
Right.
Just our friendship has grown into a understanding of we both like know each other and we both understand each other, and the way our mindsets both work, it like complements each other.
Right. But, and it was not forced.
It was never forced. This friendship was never forced.
I dead ass. This shit literally came out of nowhere. Like, I'm at Amazon. I'm like, let me get some bread for the summer. You feel what I'm saying? And then whole time I'm here because of my other friend. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not even like I'm going into this thinking I'm finna make friends. I'm here, you know, just to work. I don't even know how. Somehow we just ended up, our cross paths, we just ended up becoming real good friends. And like, without her, I don't know how I would have worked at Amazon. Especially all the shit that was going on anyways.
We definitely made each other's like experience at Amazon 10 times better.
Yes,
but
like, we kept each other energy up. Like, when I noticed she was tired, when she noticed I was tired, because we had them times that we just like, bruh, what is we doing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but we fed off of each other in a good way.
Yeah, like, we found a way to navigate in the Matrix, literally.
Literally.
But, like, yeah, I'm just grateful for this whole podcast, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Episode 2, so we got a lot more cooking up.
Right. And all the people that's watching it now, I appreciate that too. And all the people that are going to come, I appreciate that as well. And I just want y'all to like fuck with us. Like, and you don't have to agree with us either. Like, I love me a good back and forth. So, you know, once we get more people, put in the comments if you got a different perspective, that's fine. Like, I like to hear different people's perspective, so it's none of that. But I'd rather no negativity, but you know, this is social media. Motherfuckers don't hate.
Yeah, and I always like knew that I always know that in life, like, there's no right or wrong. Like, you have a different brain than me, and you gonna think differently than me.
Right.
But, it's like what Cece said. Like, put in the comments if you got a different perspective, because at the end of the day, me and Cece don't always think alike.
Right.
But it's just about having like a healthy conversation. Right. So we hope y'all enjoyed the video, and just work on practicing self-love, and Don't force it. Never force no friendship, no relationship, no situation. Make sure you setting boundaries within any type of relationship with people, because that's how you don't have people disappoint you. You know, you put in your time and effort to having that conversation, and just knowing when you're dealing with a certain type of emotion and how to go about it.
And think about your future too. Like, think about who you're gonna be, and the people that in your life that you may have in the back of your head that may not be in your life. Do you want to get 10 years from now and still be dragging on something that was not meant for you, to where you wasn't able to grow?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go ahead and feel the pain now and get those emotions off, to where 10 years from now you're saying, bro, I'm glad I stopped fucking with that nigga, bro. Imagine where I would have been at.
Because a lot of people keep certain people in their life because of how long they've known them. But you were different 6 years ago. You were different 10 years ago.
You should be.
You should be. You should be growing. You should be evolving. So are you still that same person? Ask yourself that question. Are they still satisfying you? Are they still bringing stuff into your life that is helping you grow, and vice versa? It's a mutual thing. You know what I mean? And don't think about your future too much to the point where you're missing out on appreciating what you have right now.
Right.
Definitely still think about your future.
Right.
But we love y'all, and we hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we can't wait for more videos to, come out.
If you feel me, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thumbs up!